All right, welcome back, everybody. It is time for another episode of DWMOD. That's Disagree With Me or Don't, because that's how it works. I'm your host, Mikey Wilson, as always, and we are brought to you by Cuttin' Loose Studios.
We cutting loose.
We got a great show ready for you, man. Last week, we laid down the first round of picks in the wild card weekend for the NFL Playoff Pick'em Challenge. We have our guest pickers back again this week. All right, we got Anthony Finelli, Jerron Horton. They're back in the house to be with us for the duration of this thing. Unfortunately, my co-host, Andy St. Clair, will be out again this week. The guys, he is dealing with some real serious stuff out there with the LA fires and things like that. So, most important, man, his family's staying safe and they're in good shape right now. So just stay that way, brother. And we'll see you when you get back. He's got his picks in, though, and we'll be good to go on that. But, Louis, let's get this thing started, man. Play the show. Ready? College football is now B1G versus SEC. Down, put. If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money. Ready? All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works. Oh, yes, guys, that is how it works. Let's bring these guys in. Let's start with Anthony Finelli. Let's bring him to the show. You know who he is. We laid out the credentials last week. Anthony, how are you, boss? What's going on?
I was really looking forward to some more credentials laid out, but I guess we'll just take this intro. I'm good. I'm sitting pretty. We'll get into the score, but I'm hanging in there. It's cold where I'm at, but
you're sitting really pretty in the scores. We're going to get to the scores. You are sitting pretty. But speaking of pretty, there are some more credentials for you this week. There are some more credentials. I want to let everybody know what's going on with your recent ad campaign here. These things are great. Let's take a look at this.
At a casino in 1974, Burt Rivers' life was about to change forever.
Did my pina colada make it?
Back from the deep freeze, Burt Rivers discovered another way to game.
What? Are you playing slots on a squashed hockey puck?
It's the Bet Rivers online casino.
Right on. You got a casino in your pocket?
Babe, we hit our parlay on Bet Rivers?
Yeah, Chicago walked it off. And those birds scored last second.
Hang on.
Bet Rivers, frozen in the 70s.
You got a bookie in this thing?
It's actually the Bet Rivers Sportsbook.
Last time those sneaky birds won, I had a curly shag in the 70s.
That's actually my nickname in the 70s.
Sneaky bird?
Or curly shag.
Yeah, ask your mother.
Bet Rivers, is that a sports book in your pocket?
Real nice, buddy. Those are great.
BetRivers.com, baby.
How appropriate for the show, man.
I know. Got to get a sponsorship going here.
I love it. Yeah, we got to get them. We got to get them on one of these "What Just Happens" with Gordon Butterfield or something, man.
Love it. So much fun. I want to be like it's. Yeah, it was so much fun. We did like. There's like 5 broadcast spots. There's a lot. It was awesome, man. It was really great.
It looked like it was
fun.
Look at
that hair. I wish that was my hair.
For about a weekend at the end of October, and that's about it.
We shot that in Toronto. We did a bunch of that in Canada, and like I had the wig on. Like once I had it on, it was on. So there was one day where I had like a 6-hour break in the middle of the day while they were doing stuff. So I was just wandering around the city with that hair. I had never felt so confident in my life, just walking around with that hair. It was awesome.
That is hilarious. Those are great spots, man. Kudos on that. I can't wait to catch some more of those. Let's get to our other guest picker, Jerron Horton. Jerron, what's going on, Ray?
I mean, I'm a little embarrassed. I'm a little embarrassed to be here tonight. Just, I was very confident with. I've never done bad on your show before. I've always. Right? I've only missed maybe one or two. Really good. And I'm embarrassed, man. I embarrassed myself in front of Burt Rivers, man. Like, and it just like, hey, man, those are great commercials, by the way. Those are great commercials. I haven't seen that one yet. Is it regional or something like, or?
Yeah, I think
I've been seeing them here. I take them off of TV. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gambling, and the way I understand it is like it is so different state to state. So I think it's in like 8 states, but I want to say the app is like, and because there's a casino actually in like PA. I think there's a couple of casinos. It's like, you know, like that MGM, but their sports book, I think, is only in like 30 states, but then like TV, there's like a different cut for each state. They have different laws. So I think it's in like Illinois. You saw it down in Georgia?
Yeah, but you know what? I think I was watching the Detroit feed, so it was on in Detroit.
Okay, yeah, because I know it's in like Illinois, Michigan, New York, and then all of Canada, and then a few other like random states. But
yeah, we're not allowed to gamble down here.
They do. We're not. They even changed it on DraftKings. You used to be able to do college on DraftKings. Now you can't do college on DraftKings in Georgia. It's weird.
What about FanDuel? Is it the same thing?
FanDuel, you can't even do it in Georgia.
Can't even download it.
No,
you can't even use it. You used to be able to, though. You used to.
There's no rules in Ohio. There's rules in California. Interesting.
I tell you what. Well, Jon, you didn't think you were getting off the hook from me digging up some stuff to have a video to play for you tonight, did you?
It better be for me from the fucking 70s.
I wish.
When I was.
Yeah. It is kinda. You know what? It is kinda. I've been digging into this. I'm dying up here.
That's what I was gonna. No, it is exactly.
It's the 70s.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, it's like what a great show, especially if you know some things about comedy. And the more I'm digging into it, and I didn't realize that you were actually in some of these episodes and stuff too. I was like, oh my god! So I found a little clip here to show everybody what's going on.
I haven't seen this in years.
So I used to work at the Comedy Store. This is like one of the greatest days ever. Bill Burr popped in, Joe Rogan was already on the lineup, and Dave Chappelle popped in too. It's fucking crazy, man. I do get like nervous when I'm opening for like a bigger comic. While I'm on stage, I just want to have a good set. But at the end of the day, I do want the respect of my peers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jon Nicolas.
I'm from Atlanta. A lot of people don't know this, but Atlanta is the gayest city in this nation. All right, we're known for two things: peaches and named Peaches. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Jerron Horton. When I'm not writing on Showtime's original series, I'm dying up here.
All right, thank y'all so much. That's my time.
I'm a stand-up comic. I have 2 shows tonight at the Ice House, and I'd love for you guys to come check me out. The one thing I like about this show is that it's very authentic.
Walter, what's up, man? I want to go up.
Come on, how's the last comic?
I need to go up.
Hey, that is
so embarrassing.
That's awesome, man.
I honestly, it's so crazy. I only watched that one time. That little segment on. I was so embarrassed by it. I only watched it one time. I haven't seen it since it.
Don't even be embarrassed, man. I loved it. And then at
That's
the end,
great.
talk about how authentic the show is. And then dude walks up and he's like, "Okay, I got to get on tonight." You're like, "Hey, the lineup's already done, man." He's like, "I got to go up." And I'm like, I was just at a mic last night, Jon. I was like, I think I was going up like 10th. But by the time I went up like 18th, I mean, like everybody had walked in, bumped, got up in there, had to go up. But I was just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm enjoying digging into the show, man. I never really sat down.
I'm dying up here is great, especially if you're in the stand-up world. It's great. It's perfect.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a fantastic.
Loved working on it. My first show.
Fantastic show
I ever did.
Now, give us a little bit of insight on that before we move forward. Like, who are some of the people that you got to work with on that show that was just like you're on set and you're like, damn, you know what I mean?
Melissa Leo. I mean, it was crazy to be able to act with an Oscar winner on your first fucking thing ever.
Yeah, yeah, enough said. That's enough said. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, every single week, I'm sure, you know what I mean? Like, we're letting everybody know who you guys are, but I did get a little, some shots taken at me on social media after last week about like, well, you know, so you guys, some of these guys are on TV and celebrities or comedians or whatever, and writers and stuff, but that don't mean you guys know shit about football. And now wait a minute. So I guess I need to take a little minute here to fill everybody in on what's going on with everybody else's football prowess on this show. This isn't a bunch of knuckleheads sitting up here talking some dumb shit here, okay? Number one, Andy St. Clair is a dialed-in Vegas resident gambler. This guy is just about professional gambler. This guy, every single week, if you're listening to the show, this guy is dialed in and teaching you how to gamble, how to follow the lines, where to be, where the trends are, dropping nuggets on what's going where, be against the public bet this week, hit this one. This guy has won you money on this show for 4 straight years. He knows what he's doing on the inside number side of gambling, right? And on the flip side of things, now, Anthony, we touched a little bit on yours, but this John Carroll University, yeah, that's where you played football at. And this is a university that lays claim, as we said last week, to, you want to talk X's and O's. This isn't just playing football. This is the smart fucking guys playing football. If you want to get in the front office or be on the sidelines in the NFL, this is where you go to play some college football. This is smart guys. So Anthony knows what the hell he's talking about. Jerron Horton played college football, Georgia Southern, right?
Just for a year, but yeah.
That's enough. At the Division I level, you learned more than anybody that played at the varsity level in high school times a million. Yeah, the first day you walk into a Division I program, you go, "Oh my God, you're swimming." Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you guys that listen to the show, this is ridiculous. The first day you walked in there, you were probably like, "Holy shit!" Notebook out, and it was like school on football.
Oh yeah, every day. I mean, we had I was redshirted too, and I had practice every day from the time I got there over the summer to the last day of school.
Absolutely, man. And you guys, I played football and basketball at Olivet University, Comets, right? Played football at Central Michigan University. Fire up Chips, let's go Chippewas. So this is not a bunch of boneheads. So save me the DMs, guys. We know what we're talking about, okay? We know what we're talking about, and we're going to get to some picks. Oh, I know. It got me a little fired up.
Let me give a little shout out John Carroll because they do a little post. So there are 8 teams left, right?
Yeah.
8 teams. You got John Carroll alumni working with the Commanders. There's one with Detroit. There's 6 guys on the staff for the Rams, 3 for Philly, 4 for Houston, 1 with the Chiefs, 2 with the Ravens, and 2 with the Bills. All either coaches or front office.
That's
nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then I also was running down a little list for some of these clowns about when I was coaching football and involved with the football program over at Calabasas. I mean, we've got multiple guys in the NFL. The conference we played in, multiple guys, first-round picks were playing in that conference. We played against C.J. Stroud when my son was on the team. Like, this is like, listen.
Calabasas was a good program.
Yeah.
It was a good It just gets a bad rap because people think Calabasas, they think it's Kardashians, and that's it.
Yeah, no, it's a bunch.
That's a good program.
Well, we were there anyway. It's a bunch of NFL guys that had money that now lived in Calabasas or in nearby areas, and all their kids were playing football at the damn school. I'm like, please. Anyway, there's enough football knowledge going around on this show that we know what we're talking about. So spare me the DMs. Clark Tettleting, who was the backup quarterback for some Wayne senior high school. Just save me your shit, okay? I don't need to hear it. I don't really need to hear it. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Let's pay some bills for a minute, guys. As you guys know, we have Gordon Butterfield, minor league baseball Hall of Fame announcer. He's here with us with What Just Happens. And you guys know the deal. You like fail videos, you like these blooper videos, and you want to add on the show, you get at us. Gordon Butterfield will be in the booth on the call for the video. And this week, we are Gordon Butterfield, What Just Happened, brought to you by Case Concepts.
What just happened? Brought to you by the reclaimed barnwood beauties of Case Concepts. It's a mom and pop run furniture shop, and they specialize in reclaimed barnwood furniture. You can choose a live edge or some smoothed out finishes. Well, they've even got those fancy river tables and all kind of themes, from sports to space conflicts. Whether you're looking for a 12-parsec Kessel run or a march up a frozen river's edge, the rebels have been found. You won't be disappointed. Those are real toys in there. That's right. From bathroom decor to bar carts to bar stools. They've even got pet supplies. Plus, looking for that couch bar you always wanted? Take it from these satisfied customers. That's the beauty of Case Concepts on Etsy. Tell them Gordon approves. Well, it's a beautiful day for a visit for that. Oh, tumble time. Oh, my! Yeah, 2 for 1 on the Stairway Massacre. What just happened? It was a bang-bang play. First you see Edna trips over that dog. Oh, flip-flops are flying. She's rolling downhill like a cheese wheel chase. And then here comes Gertie. She's going to help out, but she's not going to put that phone down. Just switch it to her non-dominant hand. That's a bad idea. Here comes the concrete. Oh, my. Thank God Edna's ham hock got caught in that guardrail. Looked like a fire drill for old Humpty and Dumpty.
Oh, what just happened?
Oh, Gerard, I know you love the video quality. It's been upgraded a little bit this week. I think
A little bit, but
2000s.
well, first of all, it's clear that your producer Lou has a fetish for old people busting their ass. Because didn't we just watch a grainy video of some grannies falling up an escalator?
We did. And the week before that, I think it was children. So I think he's playing both ends of the spectrum. He's playing both ends of the spectrum. Oh, that is a great one, though, man. Jeez, man, trip right over that dog. I love it.
I don't understand what the number 2 was going to do there. Is there a plan to catch her?
My favorite part is when Gordon called out the phone switch. Like, don't put it down. Just switch it to the other hand.
Switch the outside arm. She went into the outside arm. They
put our phones down nowadays, man. You know.
and shout out to Case Concepts. That their stuff looks dope.
Oh, it is. It is. Their stuff is dope. Check them out on Etsy, man. Their stuff is really, really sweet.
I will.
Oh man, their stuff is great. All right, guys, let's get to this week's quick hits. All right, Jerron, speaking of shows that I like and shows that I would like to see get made, did you guys catch this video? I'm not going to play this video because it's infuriating to me, but I don't know if you guys caught this video of that Philly fan this week that went off on the young lady that was there cheering for the Packers. It's ridiculous.
I know what you're talking about, but I didn't watch it. It was like something I was like, I don't want to see it. But I know what you're talking about.
It's ridiculous, guys. And we were just talking about this on the show last week. If you're going to wear another jersey and go to another stadium, you're going to have some ribbing and stuff. And that's fine, man. Like, you should keep it classy and everybody should just be enjoying the game. Nobody should be touching anyone. Nobody should be saying crazy shit. Well, you guys remember the play where Josh Jacobs broke loose, went all the way down to the end zone. They called it a touchdown and then they reviewed it and they put the ball at the 1, but it was a big play for Green Bay, put them back in the game, right? So this video is this girl's up in the stands and you hear the guy say, after further review, he did not score. They're going to place the ball at the 1 yard line. Well, she starts cheering. Excited that, okay, well, hey, we're about to score and get back in the game. This Philly asshole leans forward and he's like, you didn't get the touchdown, you dumb fucking cunt. And she's like, whoa, man. And then her boyfriend's there and he's like, hey, man, like, you don't need to talk to her like that, man. Don't call her a dumb cunt. And he leans in, he goes, she's a dumb fucking cunt. What are you going to fucking do about it? You going to do something? Then shut up and watch the game. And I'm going, there's no place for any of this. There's no place for any of this, man. You don't need to go and get treated like that. So here is the show that I most want to see get made. Right here, man. Hear me out. A Netflix series where MMA champions go undercover to Eagles games wearing the opposing team's jersey. Please can we have that? Because they're the worst.
I saw that.
Never mess with the guy with cauliflower ear.
Oh yeah.
Never mess with the guy with cauliflower ear. No, that's like rule 1 of meeting people. Never mess with guys with cauliflower ear.
Speaking of a guy with cauliflower ear.
Muslim.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Hey, we got a special guest here. Welcome to the show, Andy St. Clair, making it in.
What's up?
How are you, brother? Everything going well?
Andy, what's happening?
How do I look? You guys can see me. I look great, don't I?
You look you look healthy and hunkered down. There are different versions of hunkered.
I'm in the Central Coast, I guess is what they call it, which is like Paso Robles.
Okay.
We got out last week for a few days, and we're gonna extend our stay here till Monday. So
excellent, man.
Excellent. I gotta get a new place. So that's always enjoyable.
Well, you got a little time now, though. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Man.
So,
well, everybody's safe and healthy, and that's the most important thing right now, man. We're glad to see you, brother. Good to see you doing well.
Good to see you guys. I was just thinking like I want to win, so I want to make sure I hear everybody's you know, if I get a chance, hopefully I don't know how long I'll be on, but I want to make sure you guys aren't cheating me. That's all.
Oh,
wait, are
man.
you all the way? Are you that north? By the way, are you like super north?
Right now.
Yeah, like I mean,
place is like 3.5 hours out of LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For some reason you said Central Coast. I was just thinking.
I think that's what they call it.
Inland.
I think they call it that here. I think that's what they
Oh.
call it. I didn't know either. Like they were like, how long do you live in the Central Coast? And I'm like, is that what this is?
Is that what this is? Yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You're on the coast in the middle of the state. I guess that makes sense to me.
I have pretended to be from here. I don't know why. For some reason, I think I'm just bored. And they're like, and I'm like, yeah, no, I grew up on just thinking of street signs I've seen, like Broad Street. I grew up on Broad Street. Oh, me too.
I was from Maine.
Yeah,
me too.
Well, there's a show I want to see right there. Did you see this video of the Philly guy in the Green Bay?
I saw that.
Terrible.
God,
terrible.
They found him, right? He got banned. They found who he was. Did you see
they banned him from the stadium?
I'm pretty sure.
Excellent. He should be. You should be, man. I don't care how drunk you are. That's uncalled for, man.
There's banned from Eagles home game. And fired from job.
Wow.
Whatever that would have been.
I'm not going to go on the record there. I mean, somebody should lose their job for getting drunk and saying some dumb shit, but that's well, damn. Well, I don't know what he does for a living now. Maybe he's a kid counselor. Fire him.
He's a kindergarten teacher. Yeah.
Do y'all think? See, I think that the whole legend with the throwing snowballs at Santa, booing Santa thing. Like, I think it's kind of like we give Eagles fans too much attention for being nasty and like making it a tough place for fans. And then they just like, yeah, that's what we do. This is our thing. And then so they lean into it extra hard. I think that what will end the negativity in that atmosphere is when they finally get a new stadium. I feel like, it's going to be so nice to watch, you know, all those seats be bought up by corporations, and then everyone can go to a Philly game and be like, oh, it's nice here. Everyone's so nice here. It's so empty. No one's even sitting down. Everyone's
so empty.
Yeah, like I can't wait till they get a new stadium so all that bullshit can die.
Yeah, there'll be no
Disneyland. It's like Disneyland of NFL stadiums. It's take your kids. Take your kids.
Yeah, right. It's terrible, man. Just the absolute worst fans there. All right, this next video, I'm going to throw this one to you first, Anthony, after we see this one. We've talked about this multiple times on the show. I want to get everybody's take. I'll throw it to you first, Anthony. Football is becoming embarrassing. It is becoming embarrassing how much the crybaby culture of other sports, mainly basketball. And I love basketball, but basketball has become a very crybaby culture. You can't get near anybody or they're crying or flopping or foul. The whole game revolves around trying to attain something for free that you didn't earn. And that's what football is turning into. And Sarkisian is the latest. Just watch. Look at this play right here. We all remember this play in the game. Bam! Separates him from the ball. He drops it. My man's acting hurt to try to draw the call. He got hit, but you may have got the wind knocked out of you. He didn't get stuck. He just got knocked out of midair. And there's Sarkisian. Oh, targeting. Guys, you saw the play. You saw the shame on Sarkisian, Anthony. Am I wrong?
I mean, he doesn't really get the benefit of the doubt considering the week before with the non-targeting call. That was... Do you guys remember that one from the quarterfinal? Like, that was actually legit helmet. The targeting stuff to me is, I think everybody's in agreement that there's like targeting and then there should be like accidental targeting or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you remember, was it I think it was the first Clemson championship with Trevor Lawrence, and he ran it up the middle, open field tackle, and they called targeting, a legit just open field tackle.
Yeah.
Just a hard tackle. And it was like they waited, and then Trevor Lawrence took a couple extra seconds before he got up, so they threw the flag.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's less about the targeting, more just consistency.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't disagree with you. I'm not specifically talking about targeting here either. Like, it's PI.
Or just like wanting the call.
Every play, you're whining and crying. Every time a quarterback gets sacked, he's turning around looking at the referee going, oh, come on, roughing. And I'm like, can we just play football, man? Like, sometimes can we just play football? John, what's your take on a lot of this, man?
I think that I think targeting needs to be maybe, I think they need to get rid of that. It's hurting the game. I think just they get paid now too. Like it should go back to being extremely violent on the college level, in my opinion.
You got $8 million nil.
Yeah, like
money.
you
up.
don't. Yeah, it's not even about that. It's just like that's the sport you signed up to play. Like,
man.
it's only for the optics, the people complaining about it, that it's even had to change. Like, I think that if enough of us get on social media and say, "Hey, we don't care, go back," we start like a rallying cry to go back to making it violent again, it'll happen.
Yeah, well, start that hashtag.
I think Trump will probably help push that too. I think
he
pull a
probably
few strings
will.
down in
Make
Austin
football
and
violent again.
Yeah,
make football violent again. Yeah.
That sounds like something that he would be into. That
we
might see.
He definitely complained about it. Yeah, he definitely complains about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just tired of the crybaby culture. You know what I'm saying? That's never used to be a football thing. It used to be like a tough guy thing, which I know is toxic now or whatever, to not be hurt when you get hit or something. But it just is. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're just tough. You just got up. You're toxic. No, I'm just not. Soft.
How about this rule? If you wear a Guardian cap, people can target you.
I love it. This rule,
that should be the rule. If you wear the Guardian cap,
the more pads you wear, the more people are allowed to take cheap shots.
If you're wearing
braces on and you're a lineman, you're allowed to hit them low. You have braces.
I was so thrown off when Dobbs got a concussion and he has that Guardian cap on last week. I'm like, why even wear that thing then? I thought that was the whole purpose of that thing.
The Guardian cap. I don't know, man. Listen, I don't have anything against the Guardian cap. I do want to see a play where a guy with the Guardian cap targets somebody. You know what I mean? Not somebody. I want to see the guy with the Guardian cap come flying in like, man, I got the extra helmet on. You better be head on a swivel now, bro. I'm coming. You know?
It's that every time I see it, I can't help but think of Spaceballs. Those guys, like it's
it looks like a helmet.
Yeah, it's the dark helmet.
Jam.
Yeah.
It looks so goofy.
I will say, Mike, it does make me that what you brought up. I've been thinking about this for a few days. It's like I don't think I understand all the rules in football, and I don't think anybody does. Right?
No,
the refs call shit sometimes. They're like, he's out of the pocket, and then they throw, and I'm like, well, he's not, right? Like I just don't, I don't understand them. I don't like. There's some rules. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I think I do. And then I watch a game and I'm like, okay, that guy is clearly sacked. That's a safety. They're like, oh,
no,
he was that. I was like, okay, I guess so. You guys know.
Yeah.
The most recent one that has been getting me, and I'll throw it to you, Jerome. The most recent one that's been getting me is the intentional grounding from within the pocket.
Yeah.
And in the last couple games, Herbie made a call, and then we saw the play with Stafford the other night where he just flipped it forward like that. And everybody keeps complaining. And the call that Herbie made in the college game was the same thing. He was like, well, I mean, there's a running back over there in the area, but he's clearly not trying to complete the pass to him. So that's grounding. And I'm like, that's not the rule. If there's a receiver in the vicinity, you can throw it at their feet. They do it all the time intentionally. So like that wasn't intentional grounding on Stafford, according to the rule. But everybody's like, well, he wasn't trying to complete it. But I cut you off, Gerard. Go ahead, man.
No, you didn't. I was just going to say that I feel like, refs are like cops, like most of them are unqualified. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they all know the laws of the game either. I think they just, most of the time they go by the crowd response. Like if the crowd is cheering at something, then they'll like, guys, we need to huddle up. Did you see something? That's what it feels like. Most of it is,
Yeah.
It's like,
a lot of the times it's a sideline coach in their ear too. Like, you're not going to throw that. You're not going to throw that. And then he throws it like, I guess.
Well, yeah. Then that's what it is. Like I, just talking to a friend like that plays, he's like, part of the job of being a star player is like, in basketball and coaching as well, is like you have to be on the refs so that you can get the calls when you need them, even if it isn't. That's part of what they do. That's part of their strategy to kind of like, be in their ear and be on them about everything so that you can get the calls at the end of the game. So, you know what I'm saying? So Sark, that's probably what he was doing, just setting the precedent like, hey,
Yeah, I hear you. But there's so many opportunities during the course of a game to actually be mad and want to call, that when you're doing it all the time, it's just turning into flopping. I don't know, man. It's driving me crazy. All right, Andy, this one is for you because you brought this to my attention this year. Let me show you guys this graphic really quickly. The Ravens win the Super Bowl every 12 years by scoring 34 points with a 28-year-old quarterback. There you go. Trent Dilfer, 28, 34-7. Flacco, 34-31, 28 years old. This year, will it be Lamar Jackson? He's 28 years old. This is hilarious, and you brought this to my attention, Andy. What do you think, man?
Bet the house on the Ravens. What are we doing? What are we even talking about? I got my house on the Ravens. I got my daughter's future on the Ravens. Like I'm just following history. I'm just following the facts, the set in stone things that are going to happen. It's
as
all
a Kansas City Chiefs fan. The three-peat you want to see is the Ravens.
They're going to get destroyed. They're going to get destroyed by the Ravens in Arrowhead. Look, and both Super Bowl teams scored 34. Come on. The Ravens are going to beat the Lions in the Super Bowl 34-0. But write it down. Write it down. Ravens all day. Add everything you got on them.
Well, yeah, we got to bring the Lions into this for us. Stick on your team. I like when you were saying they were going to get Kansas City was going to get waxed. Don't be talking
Kansas City's going to lose 100-0. You can't fight fate.
Did you guys know about this? Anthony, Gerard, did you guys know about this thing?
Well, as a huge Trent Dilfer fan, I was just going to say I was surprised. He's been about 30 years now with that goatee. He hasn't changed based on that Super Bowl picture. No, I had no idea.
That's crazy.
I would have never thought. Well, maybe I would have thought maybe around the age range. Also, Lamar Jackson, didn't he come in the league at like 21? He was super young. Because 28, he's still pretty young.
Yeah, he was 21, I think.
It's such a
you
weird,
saw it, huh?
Cool stat.
Yeah, I just saw the meme. I saw the meme and I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. It reminded me of the Falcons, drafting the left-handed black quarterback who wears a do-rag, whose last name is one letter off from a male genitalia.
Yeah.
You've done that before? Or what?
Well, yeah, Mike Vick and
Penix.
Mike Penix.
Right. Okay.
It's like,
all right.
There was a meme that came out that I saw this year that was like all on Atlanta Twitter, Atlanta
I
social
think the
media.
other one too was the Packers. By the way, Packers were 96, 2010. This team didn't hold up.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, man, it is an interesting little fact. That is pretty funny. Now, speaking of Guardians, before we move into this next clip I got for you guys here in Quick Hits, it has everything to do with Guardians. I saw this thing this week. I personally loved it. I loved it. I want you guys to watch it, and I'm going to get your reaction on this thing. Check it out.
You're going to the Iron Bowl. Congratulations.
All right, thank you. All right. Come on, let's go get that ticket.
No. Kickoff return. Touchdown, Brent.
This Lee County man thinks he's won one of the hottest tickets in town to the Iron Bowl, but in fact, he's won a trip to jail for failure to pay more than $30,000 in child support. Let's take a look at the takedown.
I'm Dennis Harrell from Lee County Sheriff's Department. We have a warrant for your arrest for child support.
One after another, dads and moms wanted for failure to pay child support walked into a fake tailgate party set up by the Lee County Sheriff's Office at a vacant building. Now, the parents thought they had won Iron Bowl tickets because that's what this letter sent to them by a fake fan group set up by the Sheriff's Office told them.
I am now a winner of the Auburn University for 2 free tickets. Thank you.
James Johnson couldn't wait to get his hands on the Iron Bowl tickets, but his smile quickly faded when he was told the real reason he was here.
Oh, my God. Hilarious.
Where are you finding these?
Gerard, I know that you think all the videos on the show are old. That one is not old. That is actually just Alabama. But
yeah, no,
this is hilarious.
It's funny. We were on the thing of the Ravens every few years. Every 20 years, they entrap old black people with that same shit. Because did they do that? They did that with the Redskins too, like in the 80s or something. I saw it in the documentary first with they did it. I think it was with the Redskins. They did it like very similar thing. You won season tickets to the Redskins, and they did that to get people.
Show up in a vacant parking lot. Come grab your prize.
Yeah. It was in like a 30 for 30 or something like that. But I mean, the first dude had a Detroit hat on. I know you saw that.
I did see that. I said, what are you doing down in Alabama getting your ass caught in some Wayne County shit, man? What are you doing down there? I did love when they had the moms too, though. Like the lady walked in with her lady friend, and it was like the mom that had abandoned her kids, and shit, and they called her in for tickets, and they nailed her ass too.
I didn't know moms could get in trouble for not paying child support. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I can tell you firsthand, Gerard, they do not. I got some deadbeat mom stories for you if you want, but we'll let that go for right now, boy. I'll tell you what. On that note, though, I got to give you a shout out, Gerard. You have one of the best jokes, and I won't get into telling your joke here. People should check your stuff out online to do that. That joke that you have about your son and your grandmother in heaven. When I first heard you tell that joke live, I was like, this dude's for real. That is one of the best jokes, man. That's hilarious. It is hilarious.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Check his stuff out. It is one of the best jokes.
I don't have much online, but I'll post that joke online soon.
Oh, it's absolutely hilarious. But they nailed all these folks with these fake letters and tickets. I thought it was hilarious. Man. I don't know.
Where's that? Right. Where's the judge jumping guy when you need him? I wish that guy was there that day to jump on the news reporter talking shit right behind his back. As soon as it fucking, right? She didn't even wait till he was out of earshot. She was like, and this fucking asshole's about to be.
Look at this fucking idiot.
Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah, he didn't
walks in. Yeah, he went little loud, Maria.
They had like 5 guys grabbing the big dude. They were like, he was trying to get out of there. He was coming up, which you could hear him too. He's like, let me just get to my car. Let me get my wallet. Let me go get my wallet. Here's what, before we jump into knock it off, we're heading there next. They grabbed, I think Willie Horton, was it Willie Horton or Gates Brown at one of the, he's a famous Detroit Tiger player from like the 60s and 70s. And he owed a ton of child support, and they got him at the final game. Oh, ticket. Oh, there's a ticket right there from the final game at Tiger Stadium. They invited all these ex-great Tigers to the last game at Tiger Stadium, and they invited him knowing they were going to arrest him. And after he went out on the field and did the whole thing, he walked off the field, arrested.
Crazy.
I was like, oh, that ain't right.
Went out on
child support. He owed like $30,000 in child support or something, man. It was great. And they arrested him right after the last game. But anyways, man, let's take this thing into knock it off.
All right, everyone, time to do me a favor and knock it off.
Now, hopefully we'll get Andy back in a minute because I really wanted him to weigh in on this one. But let me take a look at this, and then, Anthony, I'll throw it to you. Notre Dame essentially has hacked the college football playoff. They have the easiest schedule. They don't have to play any conference championship game. They most likely will get a home playoff game every time they make it. And if they make the Natty, they get $20 million. They get to keep it all to themselves. What's your take on that? Is this hacking the CFP, or is this a stupid point?
Okay. If this was maybe last year and they got in after losing to Northern Illinois, right? And you have but multiple teams, not just one, that with on paper were better than them, yada, yada, had a chance to beat them. And they didn't. It's the same thing with the Chiefs. Everyone wants to complain they're getting calls. You still had a big chance to beat them, and you didn't. And they've been winning. And not only have they won, their starting quarterback went out for a while, and they still came back. They still won. So, also, they don't have – you can argue they have an easy schedule, but it's not like they don't – outside of that Northern Illinois, who they lost to, mind you, all the other big-name schools they beat. So I'm just – anytime you hear stuff like that and the other teams are, if Alabama schedules John Carroll or Georgia Southern or someone else, not to downgrade our schools or anything like that, but it's like you guys are playing the Middle Tennessee states twice a year, getting a payday, and half you guys are losing or at least getting a game. I don't understand that. With the playoff now, especially with the 12-team playoff, you can't hack your way to the championship game. Maybe to the 12 seed, but not to the championship. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. People hate Ohio State, or Notre Dame and Ohio State are the most liked and also hated college football programs. Not of all of them, but of you either like them or you hate. You either love them or you hate them. They're not whatever. So there's going to be a lot. They're polarizing. So you're going to get that opinion either way.
I had the same take as far as like Notre Dame making it to the championship game this year. And we had talked about this a bunch on the show, Andy, about how like listen, I don't care what their schedule is. They were hammering everybody. I think the point here is more so that they've hacked the college football playoff because they get the $20 million and they don't have to share it because they're not in a conference, I think is the point that's being tried to be made here.
Does that matter now though with NIL? Like, how much?
I think it's a stupid point.
Yeah, they can put that money right. They could put that money right into their next class. Of course, that matters.
Exactly. I think that's exactly the point.
Do they have to diversify that money though through all the other sports like football usually does?
Maybe, but I think the point is that they could just be like, sure, we'll diversify it, but we're taking 10 right off the top to pay the recruiting class, and our rich alumni, like. I think if I was like, I don't know, some middle of the road SEC team, like I'll just throw out Missouri. I'm not saying they're middle of the road, but I would be like, hey,
what's crazy is about being a rich alumni. Like, I don't care how much money I have. I will never give that much money to a fucking school. I don't give a fuck.
I'm worth $7 trillion. You're getting nothing.
I'll never get. Yeah, I'm never gonna give. I don't care that much about my team winning to give them money to do
and tons of it. And tons of it. I think this whole thing is stupid. I think it's a stupid point to be like, wow, they get $20 million and they get to keep it all to themselves because they won't join a conference. They're losing money by doing that. I got some numbers here for you guys about what the revenue sharing within a conference is nowadays, especially if you're in the SEC or the Big Ten. And I got news for you. It's way more than $20 million, and you don't have to get to the national championship game to get it. I think this is a stupid point, honestly. Now, here's some numbers. The Big Ten and the SEC are expected to split about 60% of the revenue from the college football playoffs. That's for the conferences to disperse amongst the teams. Okay, so that's all the teams are gonna share in that. Now, you wonder how much money does some of the teams in the Big Ten get right here in 2025 and 2026. Big Ten institutions are expected to pay $20 to $22 million annually to athletes through revenue sharing, which some of this money is going to come through that. But the bigger point here is Washington and Oregon are expected to receive $30 million each in 24 and 25. That's more than $20 million, and they ain't even coming close to playing for the Big Ten championship. There's also the Big Ten's per school distribution this last year. So the per school distribution of the money that they're all supposed to be sharing was growing at a faster rate than what they were paying the teams. So you know what that means? They're all going to start clocking in more money. Now, we also know if you're one of the original 12 teams, you're pulling in about $65 million off the top for being in the Big Ten. And schools like I already talked about Washington and Oregon. What do you think USC and UCLA are getting in their share just for joining the conference?
90.
They're getting $72 million a piece. So quit trying to tell me Notre Dame's so smart they don't have to join a conference. They get to keep all this money. Those idiots are losing money every single year.
But they're not because
Why?
because they're on NBC. Because they get the money for that TV contract, and them making the championship is just raising the price on that. And they've had that since 1990. And that TV contract is worth billions of dollars. It's like they're not losing money.
But there is talk about NBC not renewing that.
NBC won't because sports is the most evergreen thing on television. It's just a slam dunk.
They're talking about channeling that money, though, into buying a package with the SEC or the Big Ten to put games on in those spots and not pay Notre Dame. They're going to have better viewership. Like, would you want to make sure you have the Notre Dame game every week? Or
they're going to make sure. Notre Dame is like one of the teams in the league that people all over the country root for, right? Because for whatever reason. So I'm just saying, like, Notre Dame might be losing in that thing, but the only thing you're not adding in is that 1990 TV contract that they renew every 3 to 4 years. And they just get billions of dollars.
There's a fair point there. But also the point that is made in this thing that their schedule is so weak that's helpful to them. And then you want to talk about money. They got to pay teams like Northern Illinois millions of dollars to come play them. You guys know how that works. When the small schools like Georgia Southern go to play at Notre Dame and shit, like they get paid millions of dollars. So that $20 million, gone paying teams to come play you next year.
Yeah, Notre Dame gets $50 million per year, by the way, from NBC.
From NBC. So
NBC.
50 plus the 20 for making it to the Natty, they're getting 70. USC's getting
plus
72.
Plus they get 17 from the ACC. They're not even in that conference.
For being involved with their schedule.
Correct.
Okay. So
Correct.
What do you think they could hold the Big Ten for, like what you said, 90 and be making more money?
I don't know how this stuff's
without making it to the Natty.
Like,
sorry, go ahead, Anthony.
I was just gonna say, was that 87 million based on math? Like, what does that look like on a line item? Like, oh, we spent 80 out of that 87 million, you know, like 3,000 went to catered lunch. Like, or do they just like disperse one giant check? I never understand when money gets that high, like how you actually calculate it. Also unrelated, but shout out Tommy Rees, new OC for the Browns.
Did see that.
Tommy Rees?
Yeah, I did see that from Notre Dame.
80, I don't know. I also think like once you get to a certain point, it's like 87, 70 million. Like, what am I buying with 87 that I can't get for 70 at that point? I don't know.
I mean, that's fair enough, but I was going to throw this to you, Jerron, because they're going to listen. I'm in the boat. They're going to have to join a conference sooner or later here. You tell me why you think they should join the SEC and not the Big Ten. I know you're an SEC guy.
No, I don't want them in the SEC. Why the fuck?
You don't want Notre Dame
in the SEC? No, I
we
want.
should join the Mountain West.
I want the SEC to stay as pure as possible when it comes to the Southeastern Conference. I mean, Texas is a stretch. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I like that they bring a lot of eyes to it, but even I don't consider them SEC. Like,
or Missouri, right?
It's it's in Austin.
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Missouri's technically Midwest.
Like SEC, you gotta. I mean, I know Nashville is a big city, but I don't know SEC game. You gotta go You gotta go somewhere in the middle of nowhere in the South. You gotta pass some Confederate flags and bait shops, and like, you know what I'm saying. Like you gotta take
a plane to drive 3 hours, basically.
Yeah. It's gotta
believe me, brother. I know all about it.
It's gotta be sketchy.
My son is playing games down here. Before we moved out here last year, Andy, when I was flying back and forth from LA to go to his games, it was exactly that. You got to fly into some small airport, rent a car, drive 3 hours to get to the damn stadium. I know exactly what you're saying there, man. All right, let's jump to the next.
All right, everyone, time to do me a favor and knock it off.
All right, Andy, this one is for you. I'm going to throw this to you. Check out this graphic. Martin, he's going to be the head referee for the Kansas City Chiefs Houston game, Texans divisional round game this week. The Chiefs are 6-0 when Martin is refereeing the game. He's been assigned to the game. What do you make about that, man?
Make it 7-0 after Saturday at 4:30. Like, what are we talking about? Like, he's probably doing the round of the Final Four of the AFC, and the Chiefs tend to get these kind of like there's back second year in a row playing the Texans. I already beat the Texans like a month ago. Like he's not the Super Bowl ref. He's the AFC divisional ref. So it's maybe Martin's got a house in northern Kansas City. He should. It's a nice little area. So
hey, well, Jerron, I know the Falcons got jobbed by a Kansas City Chiefs call this year, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, what's your take on this guy refereeing this game?
Yeah, I agree with Andy. I think they're about to be 7-0 easy, like even easier. I think I think they were going to win without the ref, but yeah, I can't wait to just watch the Chiefs just get the call that probably breaks the Texans' spirit to make the game not even worth watching anymore. And it'll probably happen early. Like, what the fuck?
Happen early.
Yeah, let me go spend some time with my family until the Lions game comes on.
Yeah.
Anthony, what do you take? What do you make of this, man?
7-0. People, it's trendy to hate the Chiefs now, but they haven't. I feel like I haven't played in like 2 months. You haven't seen Mahomes or anybody forever. It's kind of nuts. It's literally like 3-4 weeks, right, since they've actually tried. Right?
Yeah.
They basically, they played everyone's little brother, and they're, it was Make-A-Wish game versus the Broncos when they lost 7,000 to nothing the last week, and they sat everybody else. But yeah, it's going to be 7-0. We'll get to it. But yeah,
they're going to be 7-0.
I think you could. Whoever the ref was for that game, they probably, they've won so many games at this point. They're going to have a winning record with every ref. So
that's the point I was just going to make. Some knucklehead put this together and go, when he's reffing their games, they're 6-0. And I'm going to go, can you show me a picture of the referee that reffed when they lost? Because only lost twice this year. They only lost 2 damn games. So yeah, I mean, what do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a stupid point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of a stupid ass point.
All right, everyone, time to do me a favor and knock it off.
All right, guys, it is time. It is time for us to get into the Big Six picks, and let's get to the playoff challenge. Loose. Everybody getting ready for a big weekend of football. You're going to be out there. You're going to be tailgating, and you better get down with the official beer choice of the DWMOD pod.
Brass monkey, that monkey, brass monkey, chunky.
That's right, guys. Old English 800, the official beer choice of the DWMOD podcast. A little Old English early in the morning. Get you some eggs, get you some orange juice, get some OE. Get ready for some football this weekend. All right, let's lay out the standings after week 1 here, guys. After week 1, Andy St. Clair is in first place with 21 points. He's holding the count of 3 on the tiebreaker. Anthony Finelli in second place with 20 points, 1 point behind, holding the number 4 in the tiebreaker, one better than Andy. I'm in third place with 15 points, holding a 4 in the tiebreaker, and Jerron Horton hopefully can rally back from 14 to tie this thing up because he is holding a 6 in the tiebreaker. Don't let him catch us, guys, because he's going to win on that tiebreaker all day long. Now, Anthony and Andy, I got to tell you, the highest score we have had in this thing was 56. You guys have a shot to break that record this year. You guys both have a shot at 21-20. That's a hot first week. That is a hot first week. Now, do you think you're going to pull off the three-peat, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, hard to say. I will say I do think this Chiefs team has kind of become a little underappreciated. Like, they're a 15-win back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and all anybody wants to talk about is the Bills, Ravens, Lions. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, if this was the Lions and they were back-to-back champions with 15 wins, on this podcast, Mikey, you would be losing your mind. You'd be like, we've won the last 2 Super Bowls. We have 15 wins this year. Why is no one talking about it?
Slightly different history, though.
But still, well, it's like the Chiefs were like world beaters in the 80s and 90s. Do I think they're going to win? I don't know. You know, I think I'm not sure why I'm going to bet against them. So I'll take them to come out of the AFC. If they get the Super Bowl, I guarantee you I'm going to take them. So
I like how you were passive aggressive with the answer and like diverted as if I was asking you about the Chiefs, though. I did like that. I'm asking you, do you think you're going to win this contest for the third year?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Chiefs. I didn't think
that was
Am I going to win? Yeah.
You're so humble, Andy. You're so
yes, of course. Yes, of course. I thought you were asking about the Chiefs. But yeah, of course. I think.
All right. Well, this thing is not over. This thing is not over. Jerron is going to come back. He has claimed it. He has exclaimed it, and he's holding a 6 over everybody in this thing. But this thing, honestly, can turn on its head. I was explaining to Jerron earlier. Remember the first year we did this, and Anthony was like 13 points behind the two of us going into the championship weekend and won the whole thing. Yeah. So that's how it goes, guys.
Question. The tiebreaker. I have 6 points. Why? Yeah. Wait. How do I have 6 points and why?
That was the college football game.
No, I know the point total, but like, why do I have 6 points? Is that how many?
Because you picked Ohio State and the under. You picked Ohio State to cover and the under, so you got all 6 points in the game.
Oh, okay. So that. Okay.
Just that score from that game is the
proximity to the thing. So if we tie, then okay, cool. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then Anthony and I both had Ohio State to cover in the over, so we didn't get those extra 2 points. And Andy picked Texas to cover the spread, but Ohio State to win, blah, blah, blah. So he got the 3. Oh, he's got the Superman mask.
Yeah.
Ladybug, if you guys Ladybug, man.
Yeah, Ladybug.
Well, I hope you turn into a ladybug this weekend on your picks here. Let's jump into the first pick here, guys. We got Texas plus 8.5 at Kansas City. 41.5 is the over under. Let's start at the bottom, Jerron.
What? No, hell no. Fuck no. Andy goes first every single time. He's in first place. I know this is not my podcast, but Andy goes.
This is what's happening.
I'm going to tell you this.
That's how it goes.
I'm not doing any kind of cheating or changing. I have made my picks there on the sheet here. I'm not adjusting to what everybody else is picking.
Andy,
I got mine.
No,
I'll go first. I will
Andy first.
Go ahead. We'll get Jerron first on the next one.
All right. So I have already given my Chiefs rant about them being 15-2 randomly. Back-to-back champions, and everybody talking about the Bills Ravens, which will be an awesome game. I think this is the hardest over-under on the board, in my opinion, at 41.5. It was started at 43.5. It's now dropped down to 41.5. Look, I think you take the Chiefs up to about 9.5. I think you take them as the when it hits double digits, I think maybe that's where I'm probably taking the Texans, and it could. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I think they will start slow. So what I would suggest is if you really want to bet this game, do what the Texans have been doing a lot. I would take the Texans first half, and then I would take Chiefs second half as well. Okay. So Texans have been good in the first half, really bad in the second half. I love the games where the teams looked a little too good and they play the next week versus or compared to a team who looked so like the Rams qualify for this, the Texans qualify for this in my opinion. So I like betting against them. So I'll take Kansas City at the 8.5. Over under, I don't know. I so badly want to take the under, and for the contest I will, because I'm just going to go with the history of the Chiefs, which is normally they don't cover these big spreads and the under hits. That's been it on the show all year, Andy, and we have won a ton of money telling people, listen, do not trust your eyes this weekend. Take the Chiefs to not cover and the under. And every single week almost that paid off for everybody. Yeah. This time I'm just gonna take the Chiefs, but I'm gonna hang with the under. It's also gonna be like 25 degrees. Cold.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little chilly. I also like another thing you said. I love that tip about I bet Houston in the first half because they're not good in the second half. I did witness a game this year. I forget who they were playing, but I think they picked the other team off like 5 times and were up by like 27 points at the half, and then they lost. It was the Lions, guys. The Lions. Yeah. Jared Goff won the game. But anyways, listen, I'll jump in here and then I'll throw it to Anthony. I think 8.5 is too many here. I know you should be fading Texas. I'm not going to fade Texas here. I'm going to take Kansas City to win the game, but I don't think they're going to win by 8.5 because, like you said, Andy, they haven't blown out anybody all year. They just don't do it. And I know it's the playoffs and they're rested and everything for a week, but I got to play, like you said, I got to play what we know to be true all year long. And I'm going to take Kansas City to win the game, but I'm going to take Texas with the 8.5 points. And I'm going to play the over. I don't like that this thing moved down to 41.5. I think that's Vegas trying to get right on this over-under because they know everybody's probably going to play the under on Kansas City because that's what's been paying. So they dropped it too low, I think. I'm going to take the over, and that's where I'm going to land on this. Anthony, I'll throw it to you.
All right. Texans surprised everyone last week. I mean, I would assume like that game was just – quick rant. I think every year I've come on here and said I don't understand the raving and hooting and hollering for Justin Herbert when he's done nothing. And this is just another example. Like nothing against him, but he is immune to any criticism ever. It's always someone else's fault. It's always this, it's always that. Now, having said that, Will Disley did drop one right off his fingers that turned into a pick, but still. But they got crushed. However, I think the Chiefs all season were giving us a little rope-a-dope, and they're about to Ali us right now. I think they're going to have a breakout game. Mahomes rested. Travis Kelce probably shot 4 movies over the past couple weeks, so he'll be good to go. So I'm going to do a little mixture of both you guys. I'm taking the over because 41 just seems so low for a professional football game for the playoffs. I just don't know. But I think KC's – I don't think it's going to be close. I'm going to take KC to win and to cover that at 8.5.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm turning into Andy St. Clair here, just going straight Chiefs. But I said the same thing last year. They had all those close games in the playoffs, and like people want them to lose, but at the end of the day, they don't. They win every close game. Like no matter how you. And I know that stat was crazy. Like not 30 points. Everyone else has a total, 2 wins. Yeah. That just goes to show you they win. Like no matter how you slice it up, they win. So those are my picks for KC.
All right, bro. Let's hear it, Jerome. Where are you at, man? What are you going to do?
I mean, Joe Mixon has been like, I've been like, this is the week he's going to come back and be the man. Like he's going to be the
week 1, Joe Mixon.
Yeah. And he just constantly does not do. He's been on a rut, and I think that Chiefs defense is just too good, man. I think that the Texans are going to be so one-dimensional that I think the Chiefs are going to play some great defense. I honestly don't know if the Texans are even going to score a touchdown this game. They might score 2 or 3 field goals, and then they wind up having to go for it constantly because I think that the game's just going to get away from them. So that's why I'm taking the Chiefs to cover, and I'm taking the under.
All right, you're going to take the Chiefs and the under.
Ooh, we're all over the place. All of us.
I see what you're doing here, Jerron. This is the classic. I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you. You're just trying to make sure.
No, I truly believe that. Look.
No, I'm kidding.
Look.
I'm kidding, man. I'm just playing. I believe you. I believe you. I'm just making a joke, man. You do. You just need to get in front of me, and then you're not last. That's all. That's the main objective.
I want to win. I want to get third.
All right, let's jump to the next game on Saturday, the Saturday night game, near and dear to my heart, guys. We got the Commanders plus 9.5 at the Detroit Lions. The over-under here is 55.5. And, guys, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go first on this one because I'm going to be a little long-winded here, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to pick. First of all, I'm burned out on all the pundits on the mothership on that goofball network that, like, really, you guys, your takes all week have been that Jaden Daniels is going to be matchup problems for Detroit. He's going to be matchup problems for Detroit. Really? Everybody's been a matchup problem for Detroit. Our starting defense is everyone else's practice squad guys right now. Like, that's your take on this game, is that there's going to be matchup problems for us? Of course there's going to be matchup problems. We've been having matchup problems for weeks because of 16 guys on the IR. But you know what we haven't been having, guys? Scoreboard problems. So we're not really worried about your little matchup problems. Jaden Daniels is going to do this, and Jaden Daniels is going to do that. I fully expect that he will. Jaden Daniels is very good, guys. He is better than a rookie. He is very good at making his reads and getting the ball out. Jaden Daniels will have success against the Lions this week. The Lions, the problem for Jaden Daniels this week isn't going to be, is he going to play better than a rookie, and is he going to be able to make the plays that he makes? He's going to. The problem for Jaden Daniels this week, guys, is going to be, can he keep up? Not can he score on us. Can he keep up? That's going to be the problem, because that's your only chance of beating the Lions. And let's talk about Joseph leading the league in interceptions right now, right? This guy leads the league in interceptions because he's the best bait and switch safety there is in the league. He will give you the look you think you have and then jump the route and intercept you. That's going to be a problem for Jaden Daniels. He's still going to have success and score some points. Also, a big problem for Jaden Daniels this week is going to be Alex Anzalone. Alex Anzalone comes back last week after missing 5 weeks. He is the best sideline-to-sideline cover linebacker in the league. That is not me drinking Kool-Aid and being a slap-happy lackey for the Lions. That is an actual fact in NFL statistics. This guy's the best sideline-to-sideline cover linebacker. There's no, to me, you could talk about the Vikings were falling off. There's no coincidence that when the green dot guy on the team comes back, the defense plays out of their mind, and he led the team in tackles against the Vikings with that broken arm. Him being back is the big problem for Jaden Daniels as well. Go ahead and take off and run as much as you want. Better have your head on a swivel for Anzalone, because he's coming for you. And you know who else is coming for you? My man right here, Branch. Early in the game, Branch will take a 15-yarder to try to take Daniels' head off, because that's what he'll do. And he just might. Trust me, he'll probably get 15. But the biggest problem for Jaden Daniels this weekend is going to be another guy for the Lions that's coming back named David Montgomery. That's going to be his biggest problem, because now the Lions have the pound game back. Now we can pound it on first. We can pound it on third. We can hold the ball a little bit. Jaden Daniels' big problem this weekend is not going to be getting in the end zone in the second half and thinking, okay, we got about 4 possessions left here. If we can get in the end zone once or twice, we're in it. His biggest problem is going to be, we've got 3 or 4 possessions left, and I need to score on every one, because the Lions are too. You follow me? His problem is going to be pressure to keep up, not to score. So I'm telling you right now, I'm taking the Lions. I'm taking the Lions to cover the 9.5. This thing's going to be a smoke show, and I'm taking the over. I'll throw it to you, Anthony. What do you think?
All right. First of all, my heart breaks because of what happened to my boy Baker Mayfield last week. I don't know who actually watched that game or dug into the stats. Washington ran 69 plays. The Buccaneers ran 44. That is unbelievable. That's like it's insane that they only ran 44 plays, and they put up 20. Jaden Daniels is good, but Commanders have no run game. He is their run game, but he runs around a lot to not get much. Like, I think he ended up with like 35, 36 yards on a dozen carries. But Brian Robinson's not doing anything. Eckler did his thing. He got a couple of plays out, and Scary Terry played well. But I think, kind of like how Stroud's rookie year and kind of came to a quick end last year in this round, I think the same thing's going to happen. But I do think they're going to put up points. So I'm going to take, obviously, Lions to win, but I think Commanders will cover, whether it's in some cleanup time when Detroit's up by 2 scores in the fourth. I think they're going to cover, but I'm also going to take the under just because if the Commanders kept Buccaneers, who can light it up, third offense in the league, light it up to 44 plays, there's going to be something like that. The over-under that I'm like, how many fourth downs are Dan Quinn and Dan Campbell going to go for? Like combined before, like I guarantee at least 6 throughout the game, no matter where they are on the field. Like Commanders, if they would have kicked earlier in the game, they probably would have beat the Buccaneers by 10, but they just kept going for it on 4. So it's going to be an exciting game. But again, I think Lions win it, Commanders cover, and I'm taking the under.
All right.
The under.
All right, Andy, what do you think, brother?
I generally, I know I didn't do it with the Chiefs, but I generally kind of like to fade the 1 seeds in this round. I just think it's kind of the smartest play. They've been off a week. They take a little time to get moving. So I can't wait till I'm betting the Texans at the end of the week. But I like the Commanders here. I think 9.5, 10 is just a lot of points. And look, I take the Lions to win for sure. But, the Commanders can cover this in the fourth when the Lions don't care. They can throw a little crappy touchdown and cover the spread. So I think Jaden is going to give him problems. I think he's going to run on the Lions. The Lions are not really great at stopping these running quarterbacks. If you look over the past 2 years, which I've said this Lions team is the same as last year's Lions team, and I still believe that. It's the exact same team, ultimately. It's like Lamar beat them badly, and Josh Allen beat them earlier this year. And it's because they moved, and they got out in the pocket, and they were quick and can run down the field. And look, Jaden's not as good as those guys. I'm not saying he's going to make all the correct decisions, but he's a better athlete than Josh Allen, I would probably say, is faster. And I think it's going to give Detroit some issues. I think Detroit's going to be a little rusty, even though I will say at least they got to play in Week 18, when it meant something against the Vikings. So that's the positive side. So look, I like the over in this game. It's the only over of the week I like. I like over. I like Washington, but I like the Lions to win.
All right.
I think if you're going to take the over, I think you probably got to take Washington. If you're going to take the under, I think you probably take Detroit. It's just it's how I would kind of ride it.
That's the Vegas play there. Yeah, for sure. Jerron, what do you think, man?
I mean, I know I'm the guy who picked the Broncos and the Steelers last week to win.
The
Steelers could have won. The
Yep.
Broncos didn't. The Broncos, they came out swinging. But, combined with the fact that I'm in last place, just give me the Commanders, man.
This ain't
give me
the
the
game
Commanders
to
to win. Give me the Commanders to win. If they can beat the Bucs, they can beat the Lions. They basically do the same thing.
Yep.
A team that has a great running back committee, that has great receivers. They can beat the Bucs. They can beat the Lions. They shut down Bucky Irvin, and he isn't Gibbs. I'm not going to take anything away from Gibbs, but he's up there. He's like Gibbs. He's Gibbs-ish. So I think it's the NFL too, man. It's the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy shit happens all the time. So give me, and Jaden Daniels is a very cool, calm, collected rookie. He's cool, points. Calm, collected.
Yeah.
It's not even scoring points. It's just like I don't know. He doesn't seem to ever really be stressed. Like he seems like very in control, even when the team is down.
Yeah, he's everything Caleb Williams told us he was going to be in the league. I don't get nervous. I'm just balling. Okay.
Yeah.
Jane Daniels is doing it. Jane Daniels is doing it.
So hey, give me the Commanders to win it, and give me the under on the game. I think that Dan Quinn defense. I think
Commanders and the under. All right, now, Dry, I'm just going to tell you, man, it is only the second quarter. You don't got to start bombing threes yet. You can take a few layups here and get back in this thing and then make a strike in the fourth quarter.
You made a lot of points. You talking about Alex Anzalone. Like I'm never on the guy who just came back from injury. You got two of your points were guys who've been sitting for weeks. from injuries, these guys are going to be gassed.
And
these are two of the points he made.
Led the team in tackles.
Yeah, you know what? In the Vikings game, if I had to make this pick the day after the Lions beat the Vikings, I'd be like, yeah, give me the Lions. But we saw who the Vikings are. They lost to the fucking Rams. They got embarrassed by the Rams. The Rams, in my opinion, are just not. They're not a good football team. Like, in my opinion, like I think they just were the benefit. You know, they benefited from their division. Now, mind you, I thought that the Bucs were a good football team, even though their record wasn't great and they played in a shitty division.
But you're going to get to pick on the Rams here in a minute.
Yeah. But that's all I'm saying. Just write me down for the Commanders and the under.
All right. Well, for all the pundits out there at the mothership talking about all the issues Detroit's going to have because of Jaden Daniels and that offense, let me just give you a quick report on what Aaron Glenn is doing right now, guys. Unbothered. Oh, yeah. It's just somebody. He's just chilling. He's chilling.
Hey, I remember when Shanahan had all them damn interviews before our Super Bowl.
Yeah. Trouble. Right. Yeah. It could be trouble. It could be trouble. All right, let's jump to this Ravens-Bills game. Absolutely going to be the game of the week. I would argue we would all agree on this. It's probably going to be the game outside of your own team that you're most excited to watch. This should be fun as hell. This is not going to be like the earlier game in the season. Both the teams were playing different football at that time and a little beat up. This should be a really fun football game. Ravens, -1. At the Bills, 51.5 is the over-under. Bills are a home dog. Andy, let's go to you for a home dog. I know you love a home dog.
I do. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I want to add this. I forgot to say this in the Chiefs section, by the way. It's going to be double-digit wins. It's going to be about 15-mile-per-hour wins in Kansas City. So just when you're placing that over-under, just really think hard about that under because that wind gets whipping in Arrowhead. Going to be hard to throw the ball around, Mr. Stroud.
Good thing Harrison Bucker has Jesus on his side.
Look, I think the way you bet this game is you follow what these teams give you, which is Ravens first half, Bills second half, right? Because the Ravens start strong, the Bills start slow. The Bills close. They're something like 14-3 in the second half of games. So even if they lose, they could still possibly cover. You know, look, I think the trap in this game is I want to take the Ravens so badly because I want to see the Ravens-Chiefs game. I think it'll be fun. I want to see a Bills-Chiefs game. I want to take the Ravens so badly, but if I think about last year, it's the exact same situation ultimately, right? Only it started this week. They waxed the team last year, this round, and then they played the Chiefs, right? They played the first real team, and that team beat them. So I think this game's going to come right down to it, and you're kind of asking me who. I think you have to figure out who do you trust more, Josh Allen or Lamar, and I trust Josh more. So I'm gonna take the Bills at home. I'm gonna take the 1. I would tease this game. I would tease it the Bills at +1 to make it 7. I would tease the Ravens when they get to +1 up to 7. Just tease it. I think it's gonna be close. I would take Ravens first half. I would take Bills second half, and I'm gonna take the under. I think to me it's like a 3 again. Unders in these playoff games are gonna hit. Last week they went 5-1. I believe they're gonna go 3-1 this week. So under, and give me the Bills.
All right, Jerome, what do you think, brother? Throw it to you.
I mean, give me the Ravens to cover, and give me the under.
Okay, Ravens and the under.
Hard one.
Yeah.
No take on it. Just that's landing.
Oh, my take is I think that you made a good point last week too. Just they do a great job of taking time off the clock, and I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna do it. They looked so fucking good last week. The Ravens are. Yeah. They looked so good at what their game plan was. Just fucking run the ball. Lamar he just looks so good, so calm and under control. I think that if he knows you said who do you trust more, Josh or Lamar? I think Lamar is like that drive when they needed to score that, you know what I'm saying? Or the first drive they came out and he just ran it like 8 plays in a row. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. The Ravens just look good and their defense has been playing better. I think the Ravens are going to win this game, and I think they're going to beat them just like they beat the Steelers, is in the sense of just controlling the clock, controlling the game. I don't think the Bills are ever going to have the lead in this game.
Yeah, a lot more weapons on the Ravens side of the football, no doubt about it. I'm going to tell you this right now. This game, do not miss the first quarter in this football game because it's going to tell you everything based on what you said, Jerron, that we talked about last week. If the Ravens can get out and score some points and put themselves in a position where they can hand it off to Henry 20, 22, 23 times in this game, they're going to win this football game, right? They just are. If they try to get cute early and the Buffalo Bills get out in front, they're going to be in Ravens playoff mode where they're behind and they're in trouble because everything they do runs the clock and you can't come from behind like that. It's a real problem to do. So very important. I would guarantee the message in that Ravens locker room is we've got to come out fast so we can start pounding the ball with Henry. We have to. And I'll expect them to try and do that. I'm going to roll with the Bills though. I'm going to roll with the Bills because that's what I picked at the beginning of the year. I picked Bills Lions Super Bowl. I'm going to stick to my guns here. I'm going to take the Bills, and I'm going to take the under. It's going to be a hell of a football game, man. 2 MVP candidates going. It's going to be fun as hell. Anthony, what do you think?
All right. I love Lamar Jackson, but I think people are putting way too much stock in his last 2 weeks. The Steelers, if they started the season over 2 weeks ago, the Steelers would end the season 2-15. They are terrible.
Steelers are the Vikings.
If you watch any of Lamar Jackson's runs, the Steelers were messing up high school assignments where TJ Watt takes the running back and there wasn't anyone even remotely near Lamar Jackson. That is high school RPO, triple option assignment football that the Steelers could not execute. TJ Watt went with Derrick Henry every time, and Lamar went out, not one linebacker. Nobody was ever near him. And I just cannot see the Bills falling for that. So if you take away that RPO with Lamar running, I think that's going to be the biggest X factor, just that one small play, because that opens up so much. It's Lamar Jackson. He's fantastic. I mean, it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be – I don't look in the weather as much as like Andy might, but I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's the Bills' year. Josh, I like the Chiefs. I do, but I wish this was the AFC Championship game. Because it's all year. It's been Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. But if you actually, they've had great stats, but it's like no one talks about Mahomes. To your point, Andy, I think he was ended up 5th or 6th in yards, and that's a shitty year for him. He had a terrible year, just throwing for a shy 3,900, and he didn't even play in the last game, on and off injured. Right. But I'm gonna take the Bills to win it.
I'm going to give you that it's going to be 17 mile per hour wind, and it's going to be 10 to 15 degrees. So you got to love the under in that game.
Well, I'm still taking the Bills. I know 15 is hard, but that second half, actually that second quarter through the fourth last week with the Bills was just so impressive. Did you ever notice there's something weird? I've never been to stadium in Buffalo, obviously, but wherever they set up their broadcast is different than other stadiums. It's closer to field level. Has anyone ever noticed that? It's really fun to watch the Buffalo games. You feel a lot closer to.
Yeah,
well,
the
kickoff.
You know what I mean? It's
they have to have that camera low level out in those Buffalo games because if they get any higher, it's going to pan and you're going to see all the people jumping through tables and setting fires and all kinds of shit.
It's fun to watch those games.
Or you're just going to see Buffalo.
Right. Couple in an industrial park in the background.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take it over. I'm going to take Buffalo, obviously, to win it all.
Buffalo and the over. Okay, you're the only one on the over. And see, Jerron, that's how quickly this thing can turn. You could have a chance right here to snag 4 and nobody else is getting nothing. And that's how it goes on the playoff.
I feel good about that. But you're not going to be so cheery about it when the Commanders beat the Lions.
Hey, man. We're not saying
I will say this.
Hey, I saw King Kong trip over in the background, too. I was like, oh, yeah, definitely Commanders.
I think the score at halftime is important, right? If it's 13-10 Ravens, the Ravens are going to lose. I just don't trust the Ravens in the second half, right? If it's 17-10, then I think it's going to be a game.
Ravens this season, 100%. They were dumping games, yeah. But later Ravens were finishing. So I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be a hell of a football game. I think the key point here is if Derrick Henry's got 22 to 24 carries, Ravens win the game. That's just what I think. All right, let's jump on this next one.
Is a champion offensive coordinator. Missed that.
Except last year when he only gave the ball.
But this is their second year, though. I mean, it's
he
the
knows
second year
better.
in the
he
system.
knows better.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this next
the other thing about the Ravens too is everybody's like their defense is so better. But if you look at their last like 7-8 games, it's trash. It's like the Browns twice, the Giants, Steelers. Like there's no teams worth anything. Like, yeah, their defense should be good because they're playing like the worst offensively challenged teams. So we'll see how they do.
Browns started Bailey Zappi. I don't know what you're talking about last week. So.
Right.
Well, let's hope they don't have to do that next year. All right, man, here we go. Rams plus 6.5 at the Eagles. 43.5 is the over under. Dron, I'll let you bash the Rams first.
No, man. Yeah, I just don't think they're that good. I hate the way they play. It drives me crazy from someone who plays DraftKings all the time because they just fucking throw it at the same one guy, and if you don't have that one guy, you're fucked. And I had Higbee. I had him, and I was so glad that he got hurt, but it didn't even matter because I didn't have any. I didn't win shit last Monday, but I don't know, man. I just don't think they're that good. They don't seem like as dominant. I think that the NFC West just seemed like a really good conference because it was competitive, but I don't know, man. And just I think that the Eagles are gonna. This is a game that I kind of forgot about. I didn't really think much about it. I forgot I wrote it down. But yeah, I just got the Eagles to cover, and I got the under in this game as well. I think that the
Eagles and the under. I'll tell you what, man. The Rams are absolutely, they're the NFC's poor man version of the Chiefs to me. They are. They will hang around. They'll hang around in every game. They'll control it a little bit with Williams running the football. Just stay close and let Stafford go win it for you because he, next to Mahomes and Lamar and Allen, this guy's the best quarterback in the league. I mean, he's phenomenal. And he's so under the radar. You look at what he does every single year. This guy puts up monster numbers, wins games. No active quarterbacks won more fourth quarter games than Matthew Stafford. If this thing is close, the Eagles are in fucking trouble. I'm telling you that right now. This is going to be my 3-pointer, Jerron. I'm telling you right now, I'm taking Rams. I'm taking the Rams to win the game, and I'm taking the under. I think it's going to be an ugly football game. I think Hurts still doesn't look right. You're not getting through this game, Philadelphia, with throwing 8 passes and Hurts throwing for 65 yards. This is going to be a real football game this week. And I'm not saying Hurts can't throw. I like Hurts as a passer. I think he's a very good passer. I don't think he's right from the concussions yet. And I think they're being careful. I think they've been careful with him last week. Barkley, here's another fact for you. I saw this one earlier. The Rams under Sean McVay have not given up a 100-yard rusher yet. 12 playoff games, nobody's got 100 yards. Now, Saquon Barkley's going to get 100 yards, but how much of an effort is it going to take for them to get there? Give me the Rams. Give me the under. All right, let's throw it to you, Anthony.
Right. Rams. Matthew Stafford will throw for 180 yards, but 160 of them will be all you need. The best thing that happened for this game is AJ reading a book on the sidelines because I have a theory that no team wins the Super Bowl if you have a diva wide receiver. And if you look back, that I would say Tyreek never a diva with the Chiefs. Like anybody else, like they don't win. Look at the past 10 Super Bowl winners. And him having attention, that was the best thing that could have happened. They're going to try to get him the ball early. One bad pass out of the 5 they try to feed him is going to help the Rams. Shout out Chris Shula, John Carroll, D coordinator for the Rams. Tyler Higbee. Shout out Nick Caley, tight end coach, passing game coordinator for the Rams. That's his boy. I think, but like you said, like you don't know, like Puka might go off for 150 or he might have 1 catch. Kyron Williams, he's been their only constant. Just like, hey, I'm good. We'll get you 75 plus on the ground. But the most underrated part of the Rams is their rookie D line. Their first and second year guys. They replaced Aaron Donald with 2 beasts up front.
They're playing well. Playing well.
They've been playing well, and I think a big part of this game is it's gonna sound so stupid and like just such a random thing to say, but I think specials. Like Rams have some playmakers. Like outside of their big 2, they got DeMarcus Robinson. They got Tutu Atwell, guys that can make these big. I might touch the ball once or twice, but I'm going to go off. I think DeMarcus Robinson one game this year had like 125, 2 touchdowns. Like they got some guys that can make some stuff
Yeah,
out of nowhere. Like
they
you
do.
said, like they're a bad bet on DraftKings or FanDuel because you don't know who's getting the ball. So I'm taking the Rams to win, and I'm taking the over because I don't think the Eagles will ever give up. And I love Saquon, and I think Saquon's such a feel-good story. Like, what a good role model from like just taking a dive last week to him with his family. And like, you want to go in? He's like, no, I don't care the record. It's just, I don't know. That's cool
dude.
to see.
He's a good dude. I really do like
but
Saquon.
Rams win. I'm a homer. Obviously, Rams win, but I'm taking the over too.
All right. Now, real quick, Jerron, Anthony brought up the pass rush for the Rams, and that's where I got screwed on my prize picks this week. I had a 5-teamer. Everybody had come in. I needed Verse to get a half sack, just a half sack. 10 other Rams got a sack. Verse didn't get a sack. I would have cashed in on that bad boy.
Didn't he get a scoop and score?
He did. He got a touchdown. I should have bet him to get a touchdown, but a half a sack. He couldn't even get a half sack, man. Anyway, Andy, who do you like?
Sorry.
No, go ahead, man. What you say?
No. Andy, go ahead, and then I'll say.
Go ahead, Andy.
We've already seen this game, and it happened like 2 months ago, and the Rams got their doors blown off in Los Angeles. Like it was the final score was 37-20, and it was really 37-12. If you remember that game, the Rams scored a touchdown, went for a 2-point conversion with like 2 minutes left. It's like they got destroyed by this Eagles team. Like there's no way I would put a cent on this Rams team, especially like guess how many games Stafford's played in below 40 degrees in the last 4 years. One, it happened this year against the Jets. He's not going to like the cold weather. It's raining. It's snowing. He's 36, 37. Like you're going to put your money on a 36, 37-year-old in the cold outdoors quarterback? No, no way.
Oh yeah.
No, you can't do it. Like he only plays in warm weather. That's all he does now. And so the last game too, Devontae Smith didn't play. Bobby Slay got hurt in the second half, and they still got trucked by the Eagles. They cannot stop Barkley. He ran for 255 last game. He's going to run for 175 in this game. It's going to be raining. It's going to be snowing. The Kyron's going to try to run up the middle, and that's the place you can't do it on the Eagles. Eagles they're the best pass defense in football. Like, I hate this game for the Rams. Like, I think it's just we're going to look. It's an ass kicking is coming, and the Rams are going to get their ass kicked. And I love the Eagles. I give me Eagles money line, tease them. Just take the Eagles, take the under. Like, stay away from betting the Rams. We've already seen the game.
You're going to be on under.
We've already seen this game. History is going to repeat.
We've already no Cup though. In that first
no. I don't know about that.
Shit, Cooper Kupp doesn't play for the Rams anymore. He's just on the team.
He's pretty
bad.
The
guy had one catch for 29 yards. If you literally, I think Higbee's important. But Higbee just left that game, as Jerron was saying, right? And if you take away the 7 points the Rams scored on defense, they barely scored against the Vikings. Like they're not a very good team. It's not a great matchup.
Higbee hurt a lot. He's not even their leading receiver from tight end this season.
He's important.
But he only played the last 2 games.
Yeah,
he's been out.
Yeah, he's out.
Cobb had 1 catch for 29 yards, beautiful catch, but he seems washed. Like they're going to be on Puka. Like I don't know. I hate this game for the Rams. I think it's a trap city. I think
is it going to be raining like you said?
Yes, snow and rain. And I do not want to have money on the quarterback who's 36, 37 years old, who's going to be playing in his second below 40-degree game in 5 years. Like, get out of here. There's no way.
Hey, fair enough point, man. That's why we were touting you earlier, right, guys? We were touting Andy earlier when you weren't here, saying his value to the show is all this inside Vegas information on bets like this, man.
It's just tough for Stafford. Like, if they were playing indoors in Los Angeles, then maybe I'd like the Rams to surprise, but not in Philly.
Well, I'm sticking with him, man. Matthew Stafford, I think he's a gamer. I think he's going to come out and play well. Let's jump on the last game here, guys, so we can wrap this bad boy up. National championship game, college football. Notre Dame +8 at Ohio State. Well, not at, but versus Ohio State right here in Atlanta, I believe. The over-under is 45.5. I think we can go quickly on this one. I don't think anybody's going to have a different pick. Anthony, we'll go with you in Ohio first.
All we just say is that the college football season is too long now. We all just admit that.
Yeah.
I'm going Ohio State to win, but I think Notre Dame will cover. I'm going to take the over. Wow, I think Ohio State's just trucking people. Yep.
Notre Dame to cover and the over. All right.
8.5 a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot. Oh, is it me?
Yeah, I'm throwing it to you.
Oh,
buddy.
I'm sorry. I was just, I was wanted to find out. Cup and Nwokeabia did both play. And
did
that Eagles and Nwokeabia had 117 and Cup had 60, and they still got their ass kicked.
Ooh.
All right.
They did.
There we go.
It was 37-12. Just remind
I got something to play for right now, though, man.
Also, why would you bet on a defense, a real young defense on the road traveling? Like, I just don't do it.
Sometimes
you guys are putting money on it. Don't do it.
Catch guys with the big
don't
heads.
do it, Mikey. I'm telling you.
I'm going to tell everybody, Andy, like I tell them all the time in the show. Listen to Andy. Don't listen to me.
I never bet the favorite. If I'm betting the favorite, I'm telling you, I never do it. Anyway,
all right.
Ohio State.
Fair enough.
Ohio State 8 over games. I love Ohio State in this game. I think they'll cover with like some random, like they did this with Jack last week against Georgia or whoever they were playing. They scored that random touchdown. Texas, and that gets the over. Yeah. So I like that. I like Ohio State.
Ohio State to cover and the over. Jerome, what about you?
Give me Notre Dame to win the championship, and give me the over somehow. Somehow the over happens. This game is probably gonna be in one of those overtime games. I think double overtime. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but Ohio State in my opinion, they've gotten worse throughout the playoffs. After their first game, I thought they were the shoe in to win it all, and then against Texas, I don't know, it was too close for comfort. In my opinion, I think Texas was a bad team, and they hung around. Notre Dame, I don't really love them for I've never been a fan of them. They beat my team. But just fuck it. Notre Dame winning.
Well,
it's going to be the over.
Notre Dame and the over for you. I'm going to tell you what. You were bombing threes with the Commanders over the Lions. You're shooting logo balls now. You're shooting logo balls on this one. That's where I'm at on this game. I think this is going to be. Listen, to play Notre Dame and the over, I think is a bit insane. If Notre Dame is going to win this game, it's going to have to be on the under with their defense. It's just my personal opinion watching these teams. I think Notre Dame is going to put up a good fight early. I think they have a very good defense. I think their problem is they can't score points, and Ohio State is going to score points. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to take Ohio State to win the game, and I'm going to take the under because I don't know if Notre Dame can put up 10 points. I really don't know if they can put up 10 points. Their defense is going to play a hell of a game. I'm going to say like Ohio State might get to like 24 and maybe Notre Dame gets to 10. I think the offensive struggles in Notre Dame are just going to be atrocious, but their defense will play well. Give me Ohio State and give me the under. Now, hopefully, Jerron, you and I can climb back in this thing. And hopefully Andy and
we both won't be able to. It's going to be one of us.
It's going to be one or the other. We're chucking 3-pointers over here. No doubt about it. Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, hey, that is this week's playoff pick'em. There's your picks, everybody. As I'm going to tell you, like I tell you all the time, if you're gambling based on the picks that we're making here, please listen to the advice that Andy's giving you. The sound advice, it's mathematical advice. It's based in facts. But sometimes the old heart will take you right to the victory. I'm telling you that. So I'm rolling with some teams that maybe Andy is not this weekend. Guys, as always, appreciate your time. Next week, we'll be back with the division, with the AFC and NFC championship games. Probably same bad time, same bad channel. We'll see about that. Andy, stay safe out there in LA, and we'll see you next time. College football is now B1G versus SEC. Down. If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money. Ready? Oh, Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works.